thank you for having me, both of you, and it's a pleasure to be here. When you think about the Department of Justice, you're right. You think, okay, well, the president won and the president gets to appoint the top people in the DOJ. And so that means the policy should flow from that. But the reality is that throughout the United States, there's thousands, tens of thousands of lawyers who've made their careers at the Department of Justice. And they don't change their viewpoints or their backgrounds necessarily when the administration changes. They should, because it is a president's prerogative to change and shift priorities. And the new attorney general gets to choose prosecution targets and what we're going to focus on. But there's a lot of resistance to that sometimes in the Department of Justice. And nowhere is that more true than at the Civil Rights Division, where historically lawyers have come to work if they have a particular political perspective. And it's I've been a civil rights lawyer my entire 32-year career, but it's from more of a neutral perspective, or a pro individual liberty perspective, and not sort of a collective Marxist perspective. And so there was quite a bit of resistance when we came here to the DOJ to actually following the orders that the president has laid down as his priorities. Now, we are going to enforce the same statutes. We enforce Americans with Disabilities Act and the Violence Against Women Act and the FACE Act and Title VII, Title VI, Title IX, these important discrimination statutes that we believe in. But our priorities are going to change because the administration has changed. So we've made our priorities tackling discrimination on college campuses, tackling DEI, making sure girls are safe in girls' private spaces and have the right to compete for sports as envisioned by Title IX. We are protecting people from the wave of anti-Semitism that has swept our country, whether it be in the streets of major cities or on college campuses. And, there's so many other priorities. We're tackling voting rights issues and religious land use issues and a whole host of issues. And this is really, I think, the first time, quite frankly, that a Republican administration has come in with an affirmative civil rights agenda, as opposed to just playing defense and trying to slow down the bad things that have been happening. I'm proud to be part of that. And so a part of that is unfortunately cleaning house when people don't want to go along with what we want to do. We're giving them the opportunity to pursue their careers elsewhere. And that has been some of the work that we've been doing to shake out the DOJ in my first several weeks here on the job.
And you've been, I think, quite candid about the number of people who have left. I know you shared with Tucker Carlson last week about them having crying sessions and just being in their feelings, as some would say. But I wrote a book in 2018 about election integrity, and we talked about how Tom Perez was in your previous position, and as the head of the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, he was somebody who advocated for the expansion of non-citizen voting rights. And now you have somebody who represented President Trump in previous election battles. So you talk about like a total 180. Is there any part of you that empathizes with the staff? Like, wait, it was this and now it's this? Or is it, no, you're a professional, you get paid a big salary, you need to do the job, and if you're not, you're welcome to leave?
Look, our country was not founded on Marxist principles, and yet Marxism is actually the organizing principle of much of the left's teardown of our institutions historically. You see laws around the United States that I'm getting involved in or examining getting involved in states like Colorado that are effectively taking away parental rights. Women made so much progress dating back to the suffrage movement in our country and equal rights. And those rights are being taken away. Boys are being given girls' trophies. These are all Marxist principles, and that's not in the Constitution. So I don't have any sympathy for that. You don't get to take a government salary and remake our government from the inside out and shred the norms that built this country and made it great. So I believe in those norms, and I believe in the Constitution, and I believe in the laws as passed by Congress. And it is not our job at the Department of Justice to make up new rights and tear down institutions. It's our job to protect those institutions, as the American people very decisively voted for in the last election.
Well, I love your emphasis on individual rights as opposed to group rights, because, of course, that is what it's all about.